Jane is a 42-year-old woman who, day in, day out, was told she's good for nothing, she's stupid, she can't get herself a job, she was emotionally destroyed, physically abused, sexually abused, raped, day in, day out, by her husband. Sometimes a pillow over her head, not being able to have a breath, nearly dying. Phoenix, a 14-year-old girl, was forced to leave school by her parents to go and work in a bakery at 4 a.m. so that she could sustain her parents and her siblings. Zara, a 28-year-old mother who for a living had her own hairdressing salon. Her husband broke her hands in multiple places, taking away her only weapon, that of hairdressing, going out to work, earning her living for herself and for her child. This is not a Netflix series. This is not a Netflix movie. This is real life stories. These are women that come to Feed Them Foundation for a support system, for help, for support. These are victims of domestic abuse. Today, they are survivors of domestic violence. Now, at the outset, I'd like to point out that domestic violence does not only occur to women. There are men out there who, of course, suffer domestic abuse. However, when we see statistics, we realize there's a great disparity between men and women. In Malta, the NSO got out statistics whereby in 2020, from the 3,000 reported callers suffering domestic abuse, a whopping 79% were women. Another thing to point out is that domestic violence happens across all forms of social strata. Doesn't mean if you are a high-flying career woman, you are not victim, you are not open to being a victim of domestic abuse. However, if you have financial dependence on your perpetrator, if you are dependent on the perpetrator, it makes it even more difficult to get out of that abusive relationship. I am not here to quote statistics and scientific surveys or to make you all gloomy today. I am here to talk about the beautifully drafted laws that are not enforced, because it's useless having the Istanbul Convention, it's useless having lovely local laws and legislations, but then when it comes to enforcement, we just stay complacent in front of it all. I am here today to share the success story of Jane, of Phoenix, of Zara, and of 300 other women that Feed Them has managed to educate and empower and find their path in life. So today, Jane is fully qualified, a university graduate, and she also has a full-time job and carries on pursuing her studies, thanks to Feed Them. Phoenix, from waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go to a bakery, is today in her second year, sixth form, studying for her A-levels to go to university. And Zara, the hairdresser that her husband broke her arms in multiple places, today is studying from scratch her O-levels with her teenage daughter. Yep, that's right. So, this is what I'm here to tell you today. I want to talk about these very empowering and motivational stories And the way we do this, you might be asking, okay, so how did, from this traumatic background and all this, how did they come to end up being a university graduate and studying O-levels and all of this? Well, they've come to Feed Them Foundation because Feed Them Foundation is possibly the only foundation here in Malta that empowers women through education. We do not provide the food at table, but we give them the instruments, the rope, the fishing rod to go and get the fish at the table for them to live dignified, self-sustainable life. Feed Them Foundation does this through the Educate and Empower program. So we have over 300 women who have enrolled through our services, whereby we offer them financial aid. So we devise a plan, we help them, we motivate them, we empower them. Some people know what they want to do in life, others don't. So we start from literally ground zero, mentor them, see what it is that they would like to do. And from there, the relationship starts. We finance their educational course, whatever that may be. We have nail technicians, we have hairdressers. We also have accountants who have graduated in ACCA. We have university graduates in social inclusion, in childcare. After that stage, we also help them with their mental and emotional well-being. We have a group of psychotherapists, psychiatrists, mental well-being experts to help them each step of the way. Because if mentally and emotionally you are not well, you just cannot wake up in the morning and face life, let alone study, let alone go out to work. So we have a group of therapists to make sure that mentally and emotionally they are there, willing and able to pick up those broken pieces and start afresh. We also give them legal aid advice. We have a group of legal aid lawyers. Many of these women come from these traumatic backgrounds, separation proceedings, divorce proceedings. We're there, ready to help them legally as well. So we offer them a holistic support so that in all their entirety, they're able to move on in life. It is not just through education, it is through education and mental well-being that one can feel fulfilled, empowered, to wake up in the morning, face the day, and get their lives in order and start afresh. Only last November, Sabrina, and this girl's name is real, the other names were obviously nom de plumes, they were not real names, but Sabrina I'm going to say because she's pasted all over Facebook and social media how happy she is to form part of Feed Them Foundation's support structure. She graduated and she also invited the team at Feed Them to go and support her on her graduation day. Sabrina today has a full-time job and also offers her support to Feed Them Foundation, and every Saturday morning comes to take care of the children, the survivors and victims of abuse. So it's a circle. It's giving and it's taking, it's receiving and giving, it's giving and receiving. And that's what empowerment's all about. You replenish and you give. If you don't replenish, you cannot give. So it's so important to take care of yourself and give yourself self-care. Please note to myself, I should be saying this as well. So yes, so through our Educate to Empower program, we've helped over 300 women, and we launched our Skill Up program. And our Skill Up program has 20 women enrolled in it with their 12 or so children. We offer basic English literacy and computer literacy every Saturday morning from 9 till 12, because yes, it's a reality here in Malta. There are women and men that do not know how to read, and they do not know how to write in English. They don't even know how to open a laptop and put it on. So we're starting from ground zero, since we saw throughout our years of experience that there are so many people who are illiterate, basically here in Malta. We decided to open up this course. And every Saturday morning from 9 to 12, there's an English literacy program, a computer literacy program, and in the last hour, we also offer them soft skills and empowering programs. So the last hour is dedicated to nutrition, to yoga, to Pilates, to kickboxing, to police self-defense. So they've got it all. So they come to us from 9 till 1. They have no excuses that there's no transport because we provide transport for free. They have no excuses that they have no one to take care of their children because we provide professional child-minding services for free. And I have to say that this was all kindly sponsored by Atlas Insurance, because without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. This costs a lot of money, but when you see the way these women are just transforming their lives, it is worth every euro and every single sweat of our teams. So Sabrina, the university graduate, every Saturday morning now actually comes to take care of these children with the professional child-minding services. Today, we've also, from the classroom, we've gone onto a national debates. This year, we'll be organizing our second year, whereby on Women's Day, on the 8th of March, we have a Women's Day conference. And on a national level, we'll be discussing economic empowerment. We've got keynote speakers like the President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, Vanessa Fraser, from the United Nations, the Maltese diplomat from the United Nations, coming to give keynote speeches. And we've got a plethora of panelists speaking about accelerating the economic empowerment in women. Having someone like President Roberta Metsola come and give a keynote speech is in itself something noteworthy, that FIDEM is doing something right and that we should be accelerating the progress and opening up debate about women and gender equality. I speak for myself, and I'm sure many women here, we are not trying to be we're not trying to overpower. We just want to live in harmony. We just want to be equal. There's no us versus them, women versus men. And yes, men need to form part of the narrative to help us combat gender inequality, to help us form our narrative in smashing the glass ceiling and helping women feel they are at par. No one should be down. We should be all equal. I'm going to share a personal anecdote. Basically, yes, I'm a mother that struggles very hard in keeping the work-life, family balance, and many a times I speak to the demons in my head and also to the demon that I live with, which is my husband. Just this morning or yesterday morning, we're having this talk of our mad lives, always rushing fast-paced, and I'm like, but why do I do this to myself, My legal practice, FIDEM Foundation, my children, teenage, and my elderly parents, which, by the way, I realized someone called I am stuck in a generational sandwich or something, that I have to take care of my elderly parents and my teenage kids, which is no joke. So I'm stuck between this generational sandwich, apparently. FIDEM Foundation, Essay Consult, my private law practice. And I'm like, it's time that I have to take the back seat in FIDEM and start replenishing and giving myself the self-care that I was talking to you about before, and I should practice to myself. But when I look at in the eyes of these women that come to us, and I just look at that transformation, and their eyes are speaking so many words, 1,000 words. So when they came into my office on day one, their eyes spoke a story of anguish, of trauma, of sadness, of hopelessness. And then along the years, I see those eyes transform into eyes of joy, of happiness, of survival, of independence, of freedom. That then just takes it all away. And when I say, is it worth me pursuing this? And I just look at those eyes, I say, yes, empowering others is truly satisfying, and just seeing this transformation. So yes, it is worth it. And I really encourage anyone in here who might be dealing with anybody, a friend, a colleague, a mother, a father, a child, whoever it is, someone who's feeling down, someone who's feeling, that life has thrown too much on them, empower them and tell them they are worth it, because every single one of us is worth it. Thank you. I won't take that.